Hey, Kamila Gornia here. I'm making this video for you today because I wanted to share my 3 key takeaways that I had from attending Ryan Levesque's first ever Ask Live event in Las Vegas. But before we do that, I wanted to ask you a question. I realized that I'm kind of reaching event burnout, and event fatigue is I think another way to call it. I was in Vegas and I was super excited, and then it hit me and I was not super, I guess you could say I wasn't as engaged as I typically am when it comes to events, and I had to do a couple things that I don't typically do during an event. What I want to do is I want to share some of this stuff with you and basically take you with me behind the scenes of my trip, how it all looked like, and what I had to do in order to take time for myself. Let's just go ahead and roll the tape. People still say tape, I don't know. Let me show you behind the scenes. Truth time. I am basically hiding out in my hotel. I don't typically do this kind of stuff, but I barely slept last night. It's great content, everything is really good, but all of a sudden I'm like, man, I have so much to do, and I'm doing some work right here. I'm actually setting up my Black Friday sale right now. It's gonna be like a freaking crazy ass sale because of the Brie brand mostly, so I'm getting rid of some stuff. So I'm getting rid of selling some things. I'm not gonna be selling some courses anymore, so gonna be really intense, but hashtag introvert life. I think it's pretty clear that I have reached event fatigue. Even though the information is so good, it was something like, something is just kind of like, and it could be because it's a really busy time right now. It could be because of whatever. I mean, I could come up with all the excuses, but it's not even that I'm an introvert, which I am mostly an introvert. I still love people. I like going out and stuff. And we are actually going out tonight, which I'm really excited about. If you ever feel that way, if you ever feel like, you know, you're just reaching that point of fatigue, and you know it's not fear, you know it's nothing like that. It's just literally you're just not, nothing else is coming in a really good way. Like, it's just, you're learning this information, but it's coming one ear and then leaving the other. Then, you know, maybe you need to just ask yourself, what do you need for you to actually focus and be productive during that time? So that's basically what happened during the trip. Now what I want to do is I want to share with you the 3 key takeaways that I learned from attending Ask Live. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to be going backwards. So let's start with number 3. Number 3 is to start asking and stop guessing. So if you know anything about Ryan, his whole methodology is the ask method, which is all about asking your customers, asking your audience about themselves and what they actually want. What are they struggling with? This is like a very basic marketing principle. A lot of us don't really do that, even though we probably think that we should, but we don't often get into the habit of actually asking our audience these questions. And we end up just creating things out of thin air. We just get an idea and run with it without having any proof that this is something that our audience actually wants. So very often what happens is your product that is supposed to be really cool because you think it's like, oh, it's such a fun and exciting topic or a great idea, you put all this energy and effort into either creating it, which is not ideal for you, and I'll talk about that in another video, or selling it so you can then create it, and still you're putting the energy and effort into it, but then it's not quite as successful as you thought it would be. The reason why that happens typically is because you're just coming up with stuff on your own and not actually asking what people want. So this is all about actually making your business an open conversation, an open dialogue, so that you know what your people actually want from you, and then you can create it, and of course your sales and your engagement is bound to increase. Now let's get into number two. Number two is to segment your audience. If you don't know what segmenting is, it's basically as you have your audience, you're going to learn these different things about them. You're going to ask them questions to find out what they need, and then you're going to segment them, which means you're going to put them into different buckets or categories based on what these people actually say they want or they struggle with or whatever. Let's take heart behind hustle as an example. You know, there's a lot of different ways for me to categorize people that tend to visit this YouTube channel or subscribe to my email newsletter and, you know, just work with me in different ways. So they could be very beginning coaches or experts or speakers or, you know, whoever kind of in the expert space that wants to make an impact online and beyond. It could be somebody that's intermediate. So maybe they've been making a couple thousand, maybe they're not quite at 10,000 per month dollars quite yet, but maybe they're at like 3 to 5K per month. And then there's people that are making more than $10,000 per month, which is where my mastermind typically is, my mastermind clients, and just different people like that as well. So this is a way that I could segment people based on where they are in business. Another way that I could segment people is based on what they actually want to learn about. So some people are going to be really interested in social media and visibility stuff. Others are going to be interested in building their audience so that they can then launch these group programs in their business. And another audience could be business strategy stuff, business strategy, overall marketing strategy, so they can generate more income and scale their income so they can make a bigger impact. That's another way for me to look at these buckets. So the question is, what are these buckets in your business? What are the different categories that you're going to use when it comes to your audience and what they're actually looking for? And you're probably going to have several. So, and the only way to know this is to actually ask your people, because you can't guess this. You actually have to ask your people. Now to number one, it's taking that segmentation a step further and using personalization in everything that you do. If you've been in business for a little while, you know that email marketing is big. In order for your emails to be opened or actually engaged with, ideally they're going to be personalized in some way. For example, you can, instead of saying, hey guys, you could say, hey, actual person name, and that's going to, you know, theoretically engage the person much better because they're actually gonna feel like you're talking to them. And email is actually a one-to-one kind of communication system. So, you know, we wanna be personalizing things to the people that we're actually talking to. So when you're able to segment people and you're able to actually organize your marketing in a way that's very, very personalized, you can actually automate it, first of all, which is really, really cool, especially if you have platforms like Infusionsoft, ActiveCampaign, Drip, like different platforms like that. You can actually automate a lot of elements that are easy for you to manage, but people that are getting these emails and this communication, they're going to feel like you're talking just to them, and therefore they're going to be much more interested in actually continuing to read your emails and buying from you as well. So that's huge. Now, if you're super new in business, like this is not going to be super relevant for you, obviously quite yet. That's a little bit more high level, but it's really good to know, because especially in the online coaching, online business kind of space, it's becoming quite saturated right now. So it's really important that you start looking at how can you make the experience better for your audience so they want to continue learning from you and of course buying from you as well. So these are the biggest takeaways I had from Ask Live event, and it was a good time. Ryan's really great. You know, his energy is really warm and friendly and just open, and I really enjoy that. Now, I totally wish I was more receptive in general, more engaged. It's just totally not on him or his team. It was a really well executed event. It's just, you know, it was just, sometimes that's just what happens, and that's totally fine. You know, I made the most out of the experience, and that's all that matters. So thanks so much for watching, and I'm really curious to hear if you have gone to the Ask Live event, or if you're planning to go to the next year's event, or if you read Ryan's book. Ryan also has a book, so if you read that, let me know. And that's that. So if you enjoyed this video and you want more marketing and business strategies and entrepreneur behind the scenes lifestyle videos, make sure that you subscribe to this channel, and I'll make sure to post more videos for you so you can see the behind the scenes of an online entrepreneur that is doing a whole lot of different things all the time. And yay, this is the first video in this YouTube channel, which is kind of crazy, but expect many more because I'm not going anywhere. I'll see you soon.